Hey guys, it's IoGuard here. So the Galaxy S24 series is the company's next set of incoming flagship phones, set for release early next year. Curious about Samsung's future lineup? Here's everything you need to know about the Galaxy S24 series. Although we haven't heard much about the Galaxy S24's design, it seems unlikely that it will radically change from what the company offered for the past few years. There is a rumor that Samsung could scrap the Galaxy S24 Plus from its lineup, leaving only the smaller, entry-level Galaxy S24 and the productivity-focused Galaxy S24 Ultra. The company has launched a trio of smartphones every year since the Galaxy S10, with the Plus model dating back to the Galaxy S8, and even earlier, if you count the Galaxy S6 Edge as a prototype. It makes some sense. The Galaxy S23 Plus and S23 Ultra are fairly similar, and ditching the cheaper of the two could drive some consumers to spend more on their next smartphone. It's early days for these rumors, though, and we'll have to hold on for a while longer before we know Samsung's plans for next year's lineup. As for the specs, it's a little easier to assume. The as-yet unannounced Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 SoC will likely power the Galaxy S24 in the US and internationally. The two companies teamed up to craft a custom variant of the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 for the Galaxy S23 last year, and it's hard to imagine that partnership coming to an end. Meanwhile, expect between 8GB and 12GB of RAM in these phones, as well as various storage levels depending on your budget. Basically, it's another modern smartphone. Although, we have yet to see One UI 6, based on Android 14, in action, we know it's coming. It'll likely arrive on the Galaxy Z Fold 5 and Galaxy Z Flip 5 before making its way to the entire Galaxy S23 lineup. The Galaxy S24, meanwhile, will launch with One UI 6, or even One UI 6.1. with a handful of new features building on top of Android 14. The Galaxy S23 Ultra packed a whopping 200MP primary camera, but we wouldn't be surprised to see things get even more extreme this year. With the move to 1-inch sensors becoming commonplace throughout Europe and China, don't be surprised if Samsung steps up to compete, thereby bringing larger sensors to the US in the process. Let's talk about the rest of the camera lineup. Samsung usually relies on its ISOCELL sensors for primary lenses. The Galaxy S23 Ultra, for example, used the ISOCELL HP2 for its main 200MP shooter. To that end, we expect the company will stick with its in-house sensors, and this time, it might extend beyond the main lens. Earlier this year, the company filed a trademark for ISOCELL Zoom and ISOCELL Zoom Pro in South Korea and the UK, suggesting the brand could replace the Sony IMX sensors it uses for its zoom lenses in upcoming phones. Whether the Galaxy S24 will follow suit is unclear, but it's our best guess. However, inflation remains a factor in the phone industry, and a small price bump to any of the company's models is easy to imagine. With the S24 Plus potentially missing from the lineup, a higher price for the base S24 is possible. The release window seems unlikely to move from its usual late January or early February launch period. The Galaxy S24 is far off in the future, but the phone is coming sooner than you think. Once the hype cycle around Samsung's next foldables dries up, we'll be left with the S24 lineup to focus on. And whether the company commits to launching 2 phones or 3 next winter, you can bet they'll be Android phones worth keeping your eye on. Please subscribe to my channel. Inshallah, I will see you in the next video.